What is up, YouTube? I hope you're having a great today, yesterday, and tomorrow. We have another awesome update video on a brand new mod called the KRYPTOPS coming out of the Divine Beast mod team. And I know what you guys are thinking. KRYPTOPS, Kryppkeepa, is this somehow connected? No, it's not at all, but it's very cool. So we're going to break down the entire thing. We're going to go through the skins, the abilities. We're going to go through all the action wheel and all the cool general animations that we have right now. Remember, this is a working product, so it could change when you finally see the release, but this is as close as we were able to get to the final iteration during testing. So I hope you guys enjoy and you're ready to break down every single thing that is KRYPTOPS. Let's get cracking. Let's take a look at the KRYPTOPS subspecies. This creature looks so freaking cool. You see all the spikes down the head, this really interesting face and head shape with the snubby nose. This is the balanced version, the Palaaios, which is a very cool name first off, but also gives you a genuinely what I would consider to be one of the most unique models of all dinosaurs in the game currently, a very, very cool looking creature. Then we have the speed variation, which removes all of those spikes down the back. It really slims out the head. You can see it much smaller, much more narrow. It looks like it's speedier. It looks a little bit more like some of the dinosaurs that are already currently in the game. You also see less ridging on the chest and just an all-around more sleek and slender design. El Rajos, which is a very cool speed variation. And lastly, we have the defense variation, the Gadufaios, which is a tanky looking boy, an even thicker neck region. You see the nose, which is interesting. It's actually shortened and has a deeper taper at the front, but looks just sturdier. This thing looks stout. It looks like it lifts. It does neck day every single day. It's a sturdy, stout looking beast. I think the defense variation looks the coolest, but I would have to say that I feel like the balanced version is definitely my cup of tea. Now, I know we're all concerned with what abilities this has, and I'm going to tell you right now, the KRYPTOPS is not going to disappoint you. It has a massive array of abilities, some being extremely unique to this dinosaur. We're going to start off in the head section where we have Bite, a bite that does medium damage and low bleed. We know the bite, we love the bite. Next, we have the Headbutt, a quick headbutt that deals low damage and a strong knockback. And when I say strong knockback, you are going to be surprised at how good this knockback really is. Lastly, in the head department, we have Tearing Bite, rip and tear, Albasaurid style, dealing high damage and medium bleed. By turning with your mouse, you can pull victims left or right as you bite. So remember when I said during the animation that you're going to be able to tear a chunk off your opponent and move them with the animation? This is exactly what I was talking about. The Tearing Bite is going to allow you to position your opponent in completely different ways by landing the Tearing Bite and moving at the proper time, which is going to require you to time it right and get good with this ability. Let's move on to the senses. The senses, we're going to start with Sturdy. The Sturdy sense says standing, walking, trotting, crouching increases bleed, bone break, venom, and poison heal rate by 40%. So this thing is just going to make you an absolute tank. Sturdy is a great ability. There's really no downside to this. Next, we have Dense Skull. This increases your armor by 10%, increases charge bone break by 3 points, and decreases sprint speed by 5%. So if you're not worried about being a little slower in sprint speed, this is going to give you some defensive buffs and a little bit more bone break to go with it. Then we have Honed Teeth, which gain 30% more bleed on your attacks, which is just great all around, especially if you have a pack of the KRYPTOPS. More bleed means you're going to put down larger dinosaurs even faster. Lastly, in the senses department, we have Trotter. While trotting, regain stamina 30% faster and trot 15% quicker. So if you're trying to move your way around the map, this is going to be the sense for you. This is just going to add stamina to you and make you be able to migrate all over the map much faster. Now on to metabolism. We've got two that we are very familiar with. Hypercarnivore, you're only able to eat meat and your food drains much slower. And we have Scavenger, which allows you to eat carrion, meat, fish, and bones, but you obviously have a faster drain. Then on to hide, we have two options. We have the Keratin hide, which gains you 25% armor, adding even more defensive technique to your dinosaur. And we have lightweight scales, which increases your sprint speed by 10%, but decreases your turn speed by 25%. You're gonna have to play around with what you like from a dinosaur. I personally don't like to decrease my turning speed too much, but the increase in sprint speed could be a really big payoff depending on what type of creatures you're going out to hunt. Now onto the legs. This is where we get another unique ability called the Battering Ram. Bludgeon forward in a line, causing great knockback, low damage, and low bone break. The bone break does not last a super long time, but it does increase your speed. So this can also be used as a escape tool if you wanted to use it that way. I will say that the Battering Ram animation lasts a lot longer than you think it does, so be wary when you're fighting a Kryptops that you don't stand too close, or this thing is going to bone break you with this ability. Now to back limb. The back limb, the first one is Steadfast. You increase your turn radius by 20% on the ground. I was just talking about how I like my turn radius to be tight. Steadfast is gonna help you do exactly that. Then we have Bruiser. You can eat 30% more food and you gain 10% attack and bleed damage. If you want to be an aggressive style player, Bruiser is right up your alley. It's gonna give you attack and bleed bonuses while allowing you to eat even more. Now to the tail. We have the Balanced Tail. Increases your turn radius by 15%. That's always a great addition, but you will not have your attack, obviously. And then you have your tail attack, which is the counter to that, and it gives you the tail attack that deals low damage and knockback. It's just gonna be a playstyle thing. Do you wanna be able to defend yourself with your tail? Then you're gonna wanna use tail attack. If you wanna be more aggressive, probably pack style hunting, Balanced is probably the way you're gonna wanna go. And lastly, we have the Voice, the most unique ability on the Kryptops. This increases your sprint speed of your Kryptops and other Kryptops in your pack, and it enhances your vision at night for 60 seconds. During the animation set, we're gonna see what Beast Vision has to offer, and it's gonna give you a really cool idea of what this is going to do. There is a disclaimer not to use it during the daylight because it's very blinding and it will disrupt your vision during the day. So be careful when you use this. All in all, I think Beast Vision is a really cool idea. I want to see how it's implemented because it could be really messy, but I have a lot of faith in Divine Beast. I will say I've got a lot of faith in their mod team, and I think they're going to figure out a way to make this work really well. All in all, a set of really unique abilities for a really unique creature. Let's talk a little bit about general animations. First, we're going to start with the walking animation, which honestly has some swagger to it. Look at this Kryptops moving. It's bobbing its head up and down. It's got some swag in the hips. It's got a little Shakira in its step. I really think that the walking animation is quite clean and really feels like the creature is using its entire body to move over the ground, which I feel like adds a lot of depth to this dinosaur. Now to the running animation, which I will say loses a little bit from the walking animation. I think that the fact that it reaches out and grabs the earth and really rips it back and moves quicker than it feels like it does, although it is not fast, I will say that I wish it had a little bit more head movement like the walking animation did. I feel like the walking animation really added life to this creature, and I don't know that the running animation has it, but all in all, it does feel good because the model looks so good. It's hard to give any negative impact on the running animation, although I will say the walking was certainly better overall. Now we have the eating animation. We found ourselves a little critter. We're gonna reach down, we're gonna take some bites, and one of the coolest parts is you get the bloody face. Not every creature gets the bloody face. It's not a crazy eating animation anyway, but I do think the addition of the bloody face when eating is always a really cool touch to have. All right, you guys know the drill by now. Once we get something to eat, you know we got to get something to drink, so we're going to come down to the water and show you guys the drinking animation. It's nothing crazy, but I will say I do like it better. The fact that it does a little shake once it gets a drink, I think it's super cute, and anytime they add a unique dynamic to these creatures, I think it really helps it stand out from some of the more stale animations in the game. And I thought the drinking animation, while obviously fairly generic, really did a good job making this feel quite unique as well. I did just want to take a quick second to say how freaking cool this skin is. It is not a Kryppkeepa affiliated skin, but it is awesome to see a KRYPTOPS have a purple and gold skin that represents Kryppkeepa. I don't know. It's just the cool way that the universe works out serendipitously. And he does have a message for everybody. He wants to tell everybody to like and subscribe to the channel. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to subscribe. It's the best way you can support the channel. Now let's talk about the action wheel for the KRYPTOPS. What does this thing have to offer in terms of emotes and calls? First, we're going to start with the head up in the air emote. You're going to see he stretches his whole body up, reaches for the sky, and then gives a beautiful bow. It's really cool. I think it adds a lot of texture to the creature. Next, we have the question mark emote, which is the look around and find out who is sniffing butts. And I will say, this is one of the longer question mark emotes with a ton of movement. This really adds a lot of flavor to the character. I think this is one of the cooler emotes I have seen in the game. Next, we have the regular chat call. A very low, growly-like call. Then we have the broadcast call. I love how deep this call is from the KRYPTOPS. I will be honest, it almost sounds like it's an aggressive call by how menacing it comes off right at the rip. Next, we have the friendly call. Oh, it's cute. It's almost flirting with another KRYPTOPS. If there was a she KRYPTOPS across the lake, you know this is how they would be talking back and forth. Next, we have the threatening call. Far more pronounced, a little bit more amplified, and definitely aggressive. Not as aggressive as I would like to see in the posture, but the sound is definitely gargly and makes you look twice to not mess with this creature. Lastly, we have the help call. And that's pretty much just them saying, no, I don't want to be around you. I'm going to go. Please don't hurt me. Another absolute dub in terms of sound design. I'm sure that they will still play with it as all of these sounds and emotes are still in working order. But for now, to me, it sounds like they've got a really good base of sound design and work put together for this creature. All right, one of the coolest showcases for a creature is what it can do in terms of attacks in general. So we're going to go through some of the attacks right here for you guys to see the animations that it has. It obviously has a traditional bite that you can see right here. The traditional bite is what you'd expect. Reaches out, grabs its prey with those big old teeth. Next, it has a tearing bite, but unlike a lot of abilities, this actually gives you the ability to turn your mouse while you're attacking, and it actually adds a momentum to the dinosaur you are attacking. So if you move your mouse in the middle of the attack while you make contact, you will actually tear and add what is considerably a knockback to the dinosaur you're attacking to. A very cool attack to add. Then we have the traditional tail swipe, but I will say that this animation is really clean. I love when they make the tail swipe move the entire body. It feels far more natural in my opinion. The next ability we had is the headbutt. Here's the headbutt in action. The headbutt is going to do some damage and also provide you with a little bit of knockback. The headbutt's actually really great. It feels like a full-blown animation where some headbutts in the game feel like they've been half-baked. This one really feels quite like a headbutt in my opinion. Our second to last ability is called the battering ram, and we're going to have to be sprinting to show you this. This is where you lean down and you in essence have a charged battering attack. You put your head down and you are going to do damage and do a significant amount of knockback with the attack. You can see it also picks up speed and really does feel like you're going to hit something with some serious force. And last but not least, we have one of the most unique abilities you are ever going to see in this game. Now, remember, it is still under a working proximity, so this might not look exactly how it's going to look when it's finalized, but this will give you a good idea about what the intention is. This is called Beast Vision, and the intention for this ability is to give you better vision during the night. This is the call, and this is the outcome. So you can see here that it brightens up a significant portion of the landscape around you. During the day, it's going to make it actually pretty difficult to see because of how bright it is. And I think at night, what's going to happen is you're going to start to be able to see the skyline, or really more of like the outline of a creature in the distance, much easier because of this vision. Now, I do say I think it's going to need a little bit of adjusting to make it perfect, but it's a really cool concept. I think the idea of adding night vision, or what we call here is beast vision, to a creature adds so much flavor and really makes the game even more developed than it already was. I really like a feature like this, and I'm excited to see what they end with when it finally comes to release. Now, I know for a lot of you, the skins are one of your favorite parts of Path of Titans. So let's talk about what the KRYPTOPS has to offer. This is the default skin. We don't ever spend too much time on this skin, but all around, I do love the dusty, kind of sandy-like gray color that it offers, almost like smoke. The default skin is the default skin. You're all gonna see it, and it's actually not terrible going along with the great model and textures. Then we have Ember. You have a colored nose, a really dark back, and a light-skinned underbody. I think Ember actually looks really clean for those that want to stand out but be minimalist. Next is Frozen Star. Frozen Star looks so cool. This looks like something out of one of your favorite movies or video games. Really prominent stripes down from the nose to the tail, and it all around, honestly, maybe one of the most menacing looks you can get on this dinosaur. Then we have Redback, which is ironic because it actually has a blue back, but a super colorful design here that adds a lot of monotone colors. So if you're one of those people that likes bright colors and wants to see your dinosaur really stand out, Redback is the one for you. Then we have Striped, but Striped looks a lot like clay. This one gives me this very bloody clay, wet soil feel to it. I actually really like this one. This is one of my favorite ones because it's not too bright while still being colorful enough to stand out in a crowd. Then we have Tribal, and I think Tribal is the one that looks the most organic. This one feels like you would find this creature out in the wild. I love the green undertones. I love the light color on the belly and the dark back. This one feels like it really exists somewhere out there in the world. Then we have Melanistic. Everybody knows Melanistic. It's that dark tone, really black, almost charcoal-like color skin. It's never my favorite, but it does actually look really, really good on the KRYPTOPS. Then we have Albino, another one that almost all dinosaurs have. It's white. You guys get it. You can make it kind of pink, but never my favorite. It is what it is. If you like it, more power to you. Next, we have Tropic, and this one looks like it belongs to a bird. It looks like it's supposed to have feathers all the way down the back. I love the two-tone bright colors. It's not for me, but I think this one would probably look absolutely stunning on this dinosaur if you were to balance this out with the right colors. I think Tropic is one of those skins that are gonna stand out in a crowd 100 times out of 100. A really cool Tropic skin. Then we have Teardrop, and you guys already know how I feel about this one. This one should have been called the Kryppkeepa skin. Teardrop is so good. It's got purple, it's got gold. If you've got purple and gold on your skin, it's already my favorite. The best skin for the KRYPTOPS right here. And lastly, we have Pistachio, another one of the skins that is in my top. This feels like another organic skin while also having some flair. I like the green and brown tones, and I love that the stripes encompass the entire body, not just the back ridge, but they go down all the way to the chest, all the way to the back of the thighs. I think Pistachio is an absolutely gorgeous skin on the KRYPTOPS. All in all, I think the KRYPTOPS has an absolutely gorgeous array of skins. We are seeing that a lot right now with the modded skids coming out. They are putting a lot of focus into making beautiful artistic designs, and I am a huge fan of how these skins are developing for these new creatures. Obviously, the Teardrop is my personal favorite, but let me know down in the comments what you think the best working skin is currently for the KRYPTOPS, as there might even be more that come with this dinosaur when it finally releases in the game. And that wraps up our first look at the brand new upcoming KRYPTOPS mod for Path of Titans. I want to say thank you very much to the Divine Beast mod team for letting me get my hands on it early and showcase it for all of you at home. If you enjoyed the video, you learned something new, or you're excited for the brand new mod, then hit that like button, as it really does help show the video to more people. As well, if you want to stay up to date with all your Path of Titans news, then hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on so you never miss another video. I love y'all to death, Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.